But if you arrive somewhere and it's overcrowded, I wouldn't go.
That warning as statewide emergency orders officially end. No more fines or jail time for breaking curfew. But as Christian Von Preissing reports, there are things you should consider.
Public health experts are saying everything you've heard and learned up until now is important. It'll help us, but you've got to keep doing it.
Today, a chance for people to go back into restaurants or spend more time outdoors for the first time in weeks. But with this, there's also a responsibility not to let this situation get out of control.
The only way to slow the spread of the virus is through our behaviors.
Those simple instructions we've heard time and time again. Wash your hands frequently, cover your face with a mask when you're out in public, avoid getting close to individuals or groups of people. Public health experts are relying on everyone to keep following these steps while they start to focus on what's called test, trace, isolate, says Dr. Laura Rudkin, professor of preventative medicine and population health at University of Texas Medical Branch at Galveston.
We can adequately test symptomatic people if we can contact trace their exposures, and if we can get the infected people to isolate and quarantine, then we can have more freedom to move about, as long as we're getting and identifying the people who've been infected and exposed.
Test, trace, isolate, meaning they want to expand the availability of tests so they know who's infected. And when a patient is identified, they want to trace where they've been and who they've been around. And identifying all that, they want people who were exposed to quarantine.
We don't have the bandwidth in public health or in public law enforcement to enforce those behaviors that are recommended by the state. But what we need is for people to take those guidelines seriously.
But she says some people whose job it is to predict what the virus will do expect there will be a second outbreak. Being careful when we're out can make this happen less suddenly.
It can be later rather than sooner if we follow these guidelines.
Following guidelines to protect yourself and your neighbors as things continue.
That was Christian Von Preissing reporting. Dr. Laura Rudkin agrees with the governor's orders of reopening the state as long as the guidelines continue being used.